As a team navigates the early stages of group formation in its journey from being a simple group to a sophisticated team, one of the first challenges is to build trust. So in this video, I want to talk about a very useful model called Swift Trust. The idea of Swift Trust, how to build trust quickly, was first articulated by Deborah Meyerson, Carl Wick, and Roderick Kramer. The idea features in a chapter in an academic review book that Kramer and Tom Tyler edited in 1996 called Trust in Organizations. Swift Trust is perhaps not as widely known as it could or should be. It seems to me that it is confined largely to the academic sphere, but it is very useful to us as managers because often we need to bring a group together quickly and build trust among them as quickly as we can so that it can get on with its work. And I think if you reflect on your experiences of coming together with people you don't know, and where that has resulted in trust early on, you'll recognise a lot of the components of Swift Trust in what actually happens. So whilst teams and groups can form trust quickly, understanding the conditions for Swift Trust will help you, if you're part of that group or team, or particularly if you lead that group or team, to generate trust as quickly and as efficiently as possible. The first insight to share that I think will really help you is to recognise that trust comes about quickly when people are prepared to put aside their doubts or their concerns about the people they're working with so that they can get on with the shared task. Swift Trust is all about helping people to do that, to put aside their concerns. I'd like to suggest that there are 7 conditions for creating Swift Trust, for building trust among a group quickly. And the first, crucially, is that we all need to presume that everyone in the group has earned their place within the group. They're there on merit. Second, and running alongside this, is a willingness to trust each other's expertise, experience, and capabilities. If we take it as read that the people around us are there because they've got something useful to contribute, then we can start to get on with the work. Third, we need to craft a shared goal, something we're all working towards, and perhaps even some mechanism to recognise contribution, if not to reward it. Once we've done that, the fourth thing is to make sure everybody feels they have a clear role to play. The greater the extent to which you can define individuals' roles within the group, so that everyone feels that they are contributing something and that what they are contributing is consistent with their experience and their capabilities, then the more easily we can get on with our work. Once we've done that, we can move on to step 5, which is to focus on activities, tasks, actions, things that people can do. If you focus on the process of getting stuff done, then you are less likely to be focused on the individuals and therefore expressing any concerns you have about them. And while we're focusing on the tasks, if each individual is prepared to take responsibility for their tasks and to act responsibly, that is the 6th thing that contributes to the rapid development of trust. And finally, I think the group needs excellent information sharing. We need to be prepared to be open about what's going on, open about the challenges we're facing, and be prepared to listen to other people. With these 7 things in mind, a group can develop trust very quickly and become productive almost from the outset. If I look back at my experiences of coming together with what were to become trusted colleagues, I can see times when this has really worked and I can recognize all of those components in a range of different experiences. But what if you're in a leadership role? Is there anything that you in particular can do to cultivate the development of swift trust? Well, yes, there is. In fact, I'm going to suggest 8 things that you can contribute to the process. First impressions matter. So the first thing you can do is to build a great first impression with your team. As a leader, the way you come across the first time you meet each individual and the first time you meet the group as a whole will have a profound impact on the way that they judge you and the comfort they feel in your leadership style. If people are confident in the leader, they will be less inclined to question one another because they will trust that you have chosen wisely. Second, you need to start building relationships from the outset. Get to know each individual team member and help them to get to know you. Learn about them, learn about their aspirations, their experiences, their expertise, so that you can deploy them appropriately. Third, because issues will arise, it's how you handle them that matters, and you need to handle them quickly and constructively. Don't put off handling a difficult issue, tackle it straight on, and deal with it in a constructive and positive manner that leaves people feeling good about your approach. Fourth, you need to create the impression that you're ever present. Be there for people. Whether or not you have something to contribute to what they are doing, be present. And even when you are not there, find ways to make it feel like you are still in touch with what's going on. Absentee leadership can diminish trust in the early stages. People are only prepared to tolerate leaders who aren't there when they trust those leaders deeply, and you don't have that at the outset. Next, I said that good open communication was important in building swift trust. Your role is vital in encouraging that open communication, and avoid it being hub and spoke communication. Yes, you need to speak to each individual. However, you must also encourage everyone to speak to one another so that they can start to build up the relationships and working bonds that will make the team come together and gel. Sixth is the thorny issue of underperformance. If team members early on underperform, then that is almost to be expected. However, how you deal with it, once again, is what really matters, and you need to deal with it privately, not in public. Yes, other team members need to know that you're dealing with issues. However, you will lose the trust of the one individual you're dealing with if you make an example of them in public. So deal with it in private so that you get quick results, and let the quick results, in terms of improved performance, be the way that you signal to the rest of the team that you're in control. On the flip side of this, though, is recognizing and celebrating achievements. Do this regularly and do this often and do this publicly. You don't necessarily need to make a big show of things. However, if someone does something good, then congratulate them in front of other people. Do it as soon as you can and be prepared to offer praise and share it around liberally. And finally, looking outside the team, find ways to promote the team and enhance its reputation with other parts of the organisation. That way people will start to feel a sense of pride in the team that they're in as early as possible. And it's easier to trust colleagues if you're part of something that's working well and seem to be working well than it is to trust colleagues who are part of a group that doesn't have the trust of the organisation. Because if that happens, everybody will be looking for shedding some of the blame and casting responsibility on others. So swift trust is a way of building trust quickly. If you understand the components of how it happens naturally, and you apply some of the techniques that a leader can apply to advance the process of swift trust, then you can quickly get a group from a low functioning bunch of individuals to a trusting group that is working together and moving rapidly to the level of a team. Please do give us a thumbs up if you like this video. There's loads more great management courses content to come, so please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.